Good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to a news bulletin at 8, brought to you by number one news provider, Eswatini TV. I am Nondomiso Vilagati alongside Matsapha Nkambule, and here are your top stories. The acting Prime Minister has announced that entry into the Kingdom of Eswatini no longer requires proof of full vaccination and a negative COVID-19 certificate. The Minister of Economic Planning and Development has officially launched the World at 8 billion. Senate has asked the Ministry of Health to accredit traditional healers so that they can be regarded as eligible health care service providers. The news. The acting Prime Minister Themba Masuku has announced that entry into the Kingdom of Eswatini no longer requires a proof of full vaccination and a negative COVID-19 certificate. Masuku was speaking during a press meeting on Wednesday.
Considering the prevailing COVID-19 situation, government has taken the decision to ease some of the prevailing measures, which are as follows. We'll start with the entry requirements into the kingdom. Entry into the Kingdom of Eswatini no longer require proof of full vaccination and or a negative COVID-19 test. The nation and all who are considering to visit the Kingdom of Eswatini are encouraged to continue adhering to all COVID-19 prevention protocols. When entering, government advises travelers to follow all requirements of transit and destination countries. Government wishes also to highlight that the COVID-19 pandemic is not yet over in the country and around the world. Therefore, the nation is urged to continue to be vigilant and to apply preventive measures to remain safe.
The Minister for Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Thabo Gina, has officially launched the World at 8 billion, which celebrates that the world population will reach 8 billion on November 15, 2022. Minister Dr. Gina says this will come with infinite possibilities, especially for the youth.
As the world population will reach the 8 billion mark, up from 7 billion in 2011, the Minister of Economic Planning, Dr. Thabo Gina, says this is an indicator that the world's population is growing rapidly.
This global milestone seeks to draw the attention of policymakers and the public at large to the global and national population situation and the challenges and opportunities emanating thereof, and their implications for sustainable socio-economic development. It provides an opportunity to actively advocate for the placement of population dynamics at the center of the national development agenda and ensuring that population variables are integrated in all development plans and programs. Every Liswati deserves to benefit from a more just, prosperous, and sustainable world.
United Nations Population Fund Program Analyst in Population Development, Rachel Masuku, and Head of Office Margaret Tembe elaborate about some of the benefits that will come with the world population reaching 8 billion.
We should rather focus on ensuring that the world creates this community where these 8 billion of us can thrive equally.
Understanding these demographic shifts is critical in harnessing opportunities and mitigating potential downsides of the population growth.
Dr. Gina urges the nation to fully participate in the World at 8 billion build-up activities after the launch towards the commemoration of the Day of 8 billion. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Vuminkosi Nzinisa Esulwini.
Senate has asked the Ministry of Health to accredit traditional healers so that they can be regarded as eligible healthcare service providers. When responding, the Minister for Health, Liz Ngozi, said the ministry needs to do an intensive research on this matter.
When the House of Senate convened for parliamentary business on Wednesday, Senator Busisiwe Dlamini moved that the traditional healers be officially recognized as accredited health services providers, where she was seconded by Senator Councillor Malambe on the motion. Senators then debated the matter.
Le motion umoya wayo itawulekelela mengameli ngale ukuthi itawunika minister lokuthi angabi nemkhawulo
85% yepopulation yala Kangwane before iye esibhedlela iqala etinyangeni.
The Minister of Health, Senator Liz Ngozi, then responded to the debate.
Lo msebenzi umsebenzi odzinga ukuthi wendiwe lo ngumsebenzi lomkhulu kodwa akusiwo umsebenzi lotawubalula ekutheni sikhone nje ukuthi singasukuma sithi awu sitawuwenda masinyane kodwa ke siyabonga ukuthi imphunga tisiniketele nsayeye ukuthi asesihambe siyobuka ukuthi kungendiwa njani ngoba vele kuyafuneka ukuthi kwendiwe akhona ke emaveni asakwendile akhona emaveni asesembili kakhulu kunathi lababuka letindlela tokwelapha kwesintu kwakhona kodwa nabo basuke babuke letihlahla kakhulu.
The Minister of Health will submit a report detailing the requirements to be met for traditional healers to qualify as accredited health services providers within a period of 21 days. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkal Suwekoza with Sikumbozo Dlamini and Mbongwa Dube, Parliament.
The House of Assembly adjourned today's business to deliberate on the escalating cases of violence and arson attacks in the country.
When the House of Assembly resumed for parliamentary work on Wednesday, Manzini North Member of Parliament Mark Fordis Banze moved that the Honourable House suspend orders of the day and deliberate on the current situation in the country, the killing of security officers, the violence and the arson attacks. The House of Assembly then attended to the tabling of reports by the Ministry's portfolio committees on the debate of the Ministry's second quarter performance reports. Speaker of the House, Petros Mavimbela, then ruled to have the House adjourned so the Honourable House can have a private session to discuss and come up with solution as to what is the way forward for the Kingdom of Eswatini. The House of Assembly also had a moment of silence to remember and honour the late Prince Masitela. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkal Siwekoza with Sikumbozo Dlamini and Mbongwa Dube, Parliament.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Tulani Mkalipi, says the ministry is in urgent need of 3 billion emalangeni to finish the 519 kilometers of road networks. The PS was speaking during a visit to the ministry by the EMI Gate Holdings.
A delegation from EMI Gate Holdings, a company from the United Arab Emirates based in Abu Dhabi, continues to visit different government ministries following an agreement that was signed between the Kingdom of Eswatini with EMI Gate Holdings 3 weeks ago. On Wednesday, they paid a courtesy call to the Minister of Public Works and Transport, where the Principal Secretary at the ministry, Tulani Mkalipi, said the Kingdom of Eswatini is in urgent need of 3 billion emalangeni for 519 kilometers of road networks.
We currently at 519 kilometers of roads network in the country. The estimated cost of that road infrastructure development, it's we have not yet finished the adjudication. It's about 3 billion emalangeni.
The team from EMI Gate Holdings assured the ministry that they will support the Kingdom of Eswatini across all aspects of road infrastructure so to improve trade. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkal Siwekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Babane.
The Ministry of Agriculture is worried that despite the rains that the country is currently enjoying, farmers have not started ploughing and planting. The Director of Agriculture, Nelson Mavuzo, says after these rains, farmers are supposed to have tilted their fields.
We are seeing some activity, but it's not enough. We expect more of the land to be tilled now and planting to have commenced. We are trying to encourage our farmers to be able to go out, all out, and make use of the limited the rainfall that we've already received. They were very substantial, and we understand that they cover the entire country. We should not lose the rainfall that we have received as we speak. And even though the meteorological department has indicated that we are going to get normal to above normal rainfall, and that one, it means the allocation for that particular area, which means if you lose some of the rains, you're actually losing the normal. You will actually end up having less than what is required by the plant. So for that reason, we're encouraging all our farmers that they should make use of the rainfall that has already occurred so that they get the best yield. The best yield is obtained if you plant at the right time and the rains are enough or cover the entire growth period of the crop. If you plant late, most of the rains will be lost. So for that reason, we are encouraging farmers to go all out, do the planting as much as they can.
Crown evidence from Parliament written in Eswatini presented in court in the trial of Hosea, Member of Parliament Mduduzi Bacete Mabuza, and Gwempisi, Member of Parliament Mthandeni Dube, halted proceedings on Wednesday. High Court Judge Justice Mamsi Dlamini ruled that the evidence should be interpreted, hence the trial will now proceed tomorrow on Thursday.
The evidence that halted the continuation of the arrested members of Parliament Mduduzi Bacete Mabuza and Mthandeni Dube was presented in court by Crown Representative Advocate Gerard Lepan when cross-examining the MP's witness, who is Nkilongo Member of Parliament Timothy Mieni. In his evidence, Mieni mentioned that the motion to deliver petitions in the different constituencies was moved by Masaisi Member of Parliament Mduduzi Dlamini. Advocate Lepan put it to Mieni that was not true, as evidence in position of the Crown suggested that the motion was moved by Lobamba Lomzala, Member of Parliament Mawi Kumalo. The arrested MP's representative, Jacobus van Vuren, noted with concern that the 52-page document that the Crown was to use in cross-examining Mieni was written in Siswati, not interpreted. The MPs are facing charges of murder, terrorism. Further, MP Mabuza is also facing a charge of contravening COVID-19 regulations. In the past weeks, MP Mabuza took to the witness box where he testified against the charges preferred against him, while MP Dube is set to give his evidence as the trial continues. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, with Vuminkosi Nzinisa Mbabane.
The director of the Eswatini Broadcasting and Information Services, EBIS, Sabelo Dlamini, says EBIS wants to ensure that they deliver relevant and informative programs to their listeners all the time. Dlamini was speaking at Togoza in Mbabane in a meeting with program producers.
The Eswatini Broadcasting and Information Services EBIS had a meeting with program producers to strategize on how best the national radio can improve and provide relevant programs to its audience. The EBIS director Sabelo Dlamini says their audience is their benchmark of whether they provide relevant informative programs.
Sikhanze usikumcwalo sibasakade ke bematiko nabo bafundziseke kakhulu ukuthi kukhicita lihlelo kusho ukuthini kuze tinhlelo tethu tithuthuke tibe ngathi pheceleti tibe informative bantu bakhona ukutijabulela bakhona ukutilandzelela kungabi nje ukuthi kuyasakadwa nje but akube ukuthi lolo lwati lokukhulunywa ngalo bantu baluve lungene kubo bakhona ukukwenda lokhu lebafundiswa ngako ukuthi bakwende kuba netindlela ke letikhona kule profession yethu tekuthi umuntu ukhone kumheha ukuthi akulalele lama ukhuluma nalokuthi akhone kuyiva lento loyishoko ukuthi imcwa kanganani empilweni yakhe noma empilweni yemndeni wakhe noma empilweni yemango lahlala kuwo.
Dlamini says they aim to provide listeners with timely and relevant programs as well as moving with time and technology as per the mandate of the Ministry of ICT. Reporting, I am Kian Msibi with Smuva Shongwe at the Togoza Conference Center in Mbabane.
There was a shootout between the police and a driver of a Mazda Demio in Matsapha in the early hours of Wednesday. The car is said to have resisted to stop after the police had ordered the drivers to stop.
There was a dramatic shootout between the police and the driver of a certain Mazda Demio car this morning around Matsapha at around 6 a.m. where the police got a tip-off of a certain Mazda Demio. The Deputy Chief Police Information and Communications Officer Inspector Nosipho Mnguni narrates about the incident.
Sathola umbiko ukuthi kunemoto lesolakalako ukuthi ngathi ikhona le kulashile kumbe lokungekho emthethweni. Saphuma ke singemaphoyisa kucala kwaphuma sona stage sasemafutheni sizama kuyilandzela. Kwakhanzala ukuthi le moto ke seyithatha umgwaco waseJoy. Sase ke sesivusa lamanye amaphoyisa na akamanzini ukuthi asekete atosibambisa. Emaphoyisa kaManzini ke azamile ahambile ke ayihlangabeda le moto nembala vele bayikhanza enzaweni yangasesidzakeni kodwa ke bathi nabathi bayayimisa yala kuma kwaba ngilapho ke sicoshana nayo ke le moto le iMazda Demio sayicosha sabheka enzaweni engasiyabheka ngasemhlaleni yagcina ithethe nemgwaco lobheka ngasenkundleni yasekwaluseni kuthi teke seyilapho ke kumbe base bayabona ukuthi ungathi umgwaco soyabanciphela emaphoyisa solo emenjalo emva kwabo ngilapho ke lapho befike bashiya le moto baphuma bacela empunzini shokuthi nje lawa madoda bekamabili le kunginyalo solo siyawafuna ngoba phela bahambile bashiya naleyo moto lapho kanti vele tigigaba de ukuthi kwebiwa lithusi sethi cishe dinengana shokuthi nje kungiloko lebe sisafuna kubakhulumisela kona bese ke siyayithatha ke naleyo moto yaya yogcinwa emaphoyiseni lapho ikhona kanye naloku lesikutholile lokulakhathe emotweni.
The police are still investigating following this incident. Reporting IMKN Msibu Smuva Shongwe, Mbikwakhe.
Instacash director Mandla Ncumalo says his company is determined to support events organizers and artists because they suffered a lot when COVID-19 was at its peak. Ncumalo was speaking when handing over his sponsorship to Akeswa in support of this year's Gospel Awards.
Instacash has supported this year's Gospel Awards worth 15,000 Malangeni. Speaking during the handover of the check donation, Instacash Managing Director Mandla Ncumalo says they are determined to support event organizers and artists.
As Instacash, we've reiterated several times that we want to partner with sources at different groupings and at different levels. Gospel music is one of the biggest industries that we have in this country. Gospel music is in terms of comparison with other genres in the kingdom, is the biggest.
Nampumelelo Motha, the project manager at Rock Solid Records and Events, who are the organizers of this year's Gospel Awards, says they themed the awards as ending femicide, which is the killing of women, which seems to be going on in the country.
Ending femicide, khuluma kakhulu ngaloko ukuthi sizame kwehlisa leli zinga lokubulawa kwabantu besifazane siyabonga ukuthi Instacash uyimukele letimwathi utawusekela naye.
She applauds Instacash for understanding the meaning behind the theme. Akeswa PRO Nhlanhla Mathonjwa thanked Instacash for supporting their awards.
Take this opportunity yekubonga kakhulu Instacash ukuthi asisekele towards the success of our awards.
The Gospel Awards are set for the 3rd of December this year. Reporting IMKN Msibi with Smuva Shongwe, Mbabane.
Dear viewers, now take a look at our financial updates. Welcome back. You're still watching Eswatini TV, and for sports news tonight, the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar gets underway in less than 2 weeks, and members of the public, mostly football supporters, have started expressing their opinions on which teams they believe will win the tournament.
Uqale ngokubonga Eswatini TV ukuthi asivetele na iWorld Cup ya 2022 eQatar. Ngithi mina ke iWorld Cup yalonyaka ngajabula la ngihamba neArgentina. Kodwa na ke angeke ngikholwe iBelgium ngoba hayi Kevin De Bruyne lapha nabo Courtois, hayi nabo Lukaku, hayi no nabo ba strong.
Ngikubuka kwami ngibona ngathi ta unqoba iFrance njengenhlala yenda nje njengasemalangeni. Ngwahlale kwende kanjalo vele.
Ngayinika iArgentina ngibona kwami just because ingxenye libhola lelihle and masters akhona ayangiphikwanyuka kancane kancane. Ngingabhekisa nje solo bakhona bo Di Maria, Messi, the legend will do so.
Ngibona ukuthi bayihamba ne-Argentina ngoba Argentina ngibona Messi naLisandro ukuthi badlala bangatibamba phambili.
Eswatini TV, as one leading broadcasting station in the country, has found a way of meeting members of the public at the point of their need by bringing live games, not to forget other interactive activities with the supporters.
Imfokoto lenkulu ukubona ukuthi babukeliwa umsakazo weSwatini TV sebavele bayawalangadelela imidlalo letabo FIFA 2022 World Cup lesitabe sitelevisor live from Qatar kulona mnyaka. Imfokoto ke nekubona ukuthi sebaqalile nekuphikisana ukuthi ngibalodo hamba nayo lenzebe kulo mnyaka. Kanti ke singumsakazo lokusikwendako lokwehlukile kulona mnyaka ngeke sigcine nje ukusakada emakhaya kuphela. So sitawuphuma silethe yona imidlalo esiveni lapho khona sitabe siletha on much bigger screens and when they are fan parks for the very first time in history.
The tournament begins on the 20th of this month up to the 18th of December this year. 28 games of the tournament will be live on Eswatini TV. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msunara with John Moleken, Mbabane.
Royal Leopards are out of the CAF Confederations Cup after succumbing to a 3-1 defeat to AS Real Bamako of Mali. The game was played this evening in Mali. That is all we had for tonight, but before we wrap up, we'll take a quick recap of today's headlines. The acting Prime Minister has announced that entry into the Kingdom of Eswatini no longer requires proof of full vaccination and a negative COVID-19 certificate. The Minister of Economic Planning and Development has officially launched the World at 8 billion. Senate has asked the Ministry of Health to accredit traditional healers so that they can be regarded as eligible health care service providers. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin tonight. Up next is the weather forecast for selected towns. Good night, Eswatini.